Prince Harry's recent appearance at the Upfront Summit 2025, a high-profile event celebrated for its intellectually stimulating discussions, turned into a moment of public humiliation and, unsurprisingly, controversy. Originally hailed as an opportunity for the Duke of Sussex to share his views on the transformative and disruptive role of technology in contemporary society, the event quickly took an unexpected and uncomfortable turn when Harry took the stage to deliver his keynote address. The speech, which many had hoped would provide new perspectives and innovative ideas, ended up being nothing short of a disaster. To begin with, Harry's presentation was widely criticized as disjointed, rambling, and devoid of any discernible structure or meaningful focus. Instead of the anticipated thought-provoking reflections on technology's role in shaping society and its future, the audience was treated to a meandering monologue that left attendees struggling to maintain any semblance of engagement. Those in the room were perplexed by the sheer lack of depth, as the speech felt disconnected from reality and lacked the clarity and focus that the Upfront Summit is known for. This marked the beginning of a cascade of reactions, both from the audience and from those observing from the sidelines. Reports soon emerged detailing how the audience at the summit, instead of being captivated, found themselves desperately trying to keep awake. The lack of energy was palpable. Some were even spotted checking their phones for updates, while others stifled yawns, and a few audibly shifted in their seats in an apparent struggle to stay engaged. The discomfort in the room was almost tangible, and whispers began circulating among the attendees as to how and why Prince Harry, with minimal experience in the fields of business, technology, or media, was chosen to speak at such a prestigious event. For an event like the Upfront Summit, which is known for showcasing industry leaders with a proven track record and expert knowledge, Harry's inclusion was questioned almost immediately. Why was someone with little demonstrable expertise in the relevant fields selected to speak at such an esteemed event? The Upfront Summit has long been celebrated for featuring prominent figures who can captivate audiences with their insights and leadership. Instead, Harry's appearance served as a stark contrast to the quality of speakers typically gracing its stage. Those who had hoped to hear Harry's take on the intricate intersection of technology and society found themselves feeling shortchanged. His lack of experience and preparation was glaringly obvious. Rather than presenting fresh and insightful perspectives, the Duke's address felt shallow, unfocused, and poorly structured. Rather than igniting intellectual curiosity, his words seemed to fall flat, leaving the audience with more questions than answers. It quickly became clear that Harry, though undoubtedly a prominent figure in global conversations, lacked the depth and knowledge necessary to command respect in these sectors. The criticism didn't stop there. Reports began circulating that Prince Harry, visibly upset, appeared to be seething after the speech. His frustration grew when it became clear that his address had been met with a resounding silence. In fact, no one in the room clapped at the end of his keynote. This lack of reception, especially at an event where applause is a sign of appreciation and respect, stung. Mark Suster, an influential investor and tech entrepreneur present at the summit, later revealed that he was so taken aback by the lack of response that he noticed Harry's tears, as the Duke of Sussex seemed to struggle with processing the silence. It wasn't just the audience's reaction that left a lasting impact on Harry. The prince's speech, or rather, lack of a coherent one, was seen as an embodiment of a more significant issue: Harry's struggle to find his footing in the world outside the royal family. Since stepping down from his royal duties, Harry has been on a quest to redefine himself. However, his numerous public appearances and ventures in media, business, and entertainment have often been met with skepticism, as many question whether he has the necessary skills or experience to contribute meaningfully to these industries. While Harry's personal life and royal status undoubtedly attract attention, it's become increasingly clear that his celebrity alone isn't enough to command respect in sectors like business or technology. As the world watches his attempts to carve out a new identity, there is a growing sense that his reliance on his royal background, rather than any actual expertise in the fields he's entering, is becoming more of a hindrance than a help. It's a reality that's difficult for many to ignore, and it's something that was made all too apparent during his speech at the Upfront Summit. The underlying issue, which many have pointed out, is that Harry's path seems to be largely influenced by Meghan Markle, his wife, who has been pushing for both of them to maintain high visibility in the media. Meghan, with her own ambitions of becoming a leading figure in Hollywood and a powerful advocate for social causes, appears to be guiding Harry's moves in the entertainment industry. Many speculate that this constant drive for visibility is meant to ensure the couple remains relevant and marketable in an increasingly competitive and rapidly changing world. However, as evidenced by the response to Harry's speech, their strategy isn't working as intended. What was supposed to solidify their place in Hollywood and in the public eye has instead fueled criticism, as many see the couple's public ventures as self-serving and opportunistic. Their media presence, which was initially framed as a bold and innovative new chapter, is now being scrutinized for being shallow and disconnected from the genuine concerns of the public. The recent debacle at the Upfront summit only seemed to reinforce this narrative, with Harry's lackluster performance on stage being seen as evidence that his fame alone isn't enough to guarantee success or respect. Harry's attempts to establish himself outside of the royal family have often felt like a pursuit of validation, whether through media appearances or speaking engagements. But at the Upfront summit, it became painfully evident that his past, his title, and his fame simply aren't enough to grant him the credibility he needs to succeed in these new endeavors. It is clear that the couple's continuing struggle to maintain relevance is becoming a source of frustration and disillusionment. Their repeated attempts to leverage their royal background to break into new industries have started to backfire, with both Harry and Meghan facing growing skepticism. Despite their celebrity status, their ventures have struggled to resonate with the broader public. Harry's speech, particularly, served as a sharp reminder that while fame can open doors, it cannot replace true expertise, substance, and authenticity. As the Duke of Sussex reflects on the aftermath of his keynote address, it's clear that the road ahead will be far from easy. The growing criticism of his post-royal pursuits, coupled with the lukewarm reception to his speech, will force him and Meghan to reassess their strategy and determine a more authentic and meaningful path forward. Whether they can overcome the current skepticism and develop a presence that resonates with the public will be the true test of their post-royal careers. If they fail to adapt and genuinely contribute to the world around them, they may find themselves permanently trapped in the shadows of their royal past, struggling to justify their place in a world that